Barely.
We had a couple there for the couple of you guys were rolling there at 5:15. Yeah, it's pretty good.
What's Jaden showed you so far?
Maeva?
Yes.
He's done a good job. He has. I give him credit. You know, you can tell he's played. He's got some poise about him. I can tell he's put in a lot of work behind the scenes with the staff on his own. You know, with Luke, in terms of just spending extra time learning the offense. I feel like he's had a really good control of what we're doing here in the first couple of days, given that it's his first few practices with us. So, yeah, he's off to a good start. Like I said, he's a poised kid, right? You can tell he's not like some true freshman coming in here that's wide-eyed. He's played, he's learned how to prepare, and you see that out on the field.
Good impressions now that the pads are on.
It's been 2 really physical days. It has been. Guys have gotten after it. The defense was certainly the more physical unit. First day of pads, offense probably we had the upper hand on that today, but it's been kind of close. It's been back and forth. You know, we've really I think slowed down installations really on both sides. I know we've talked a lot defensively, but we've tried to do it on both and really spend a lot of time, you know, on fundamentals. A lot was made, you know, we've all talked a lot in the offseason about, you know, putting weight on these guys, getting stronger, bigger on the lines of scrimmage. That's one thing, you know, a lot of people equate, well, if you're going to get more physical, you got to get bigger and stronger. Yeah, that's part of it, but there's the technique and fundamentals of it is, I mean, just as important. And so we've really tried to kind of slow down and to be able to really spend time and emphasize the technique and fundamental side with these guys. And so obviously once you get the pads on, you get to see some of that in action. So yeah, been good so far. Been really competitive. We've been able to get a lot of reps.
Jaden went off had an interesting recruiting process, or was committed to another school at one point. From your perspective, kind of what was that like going through that for you?
Yeah, you know, he came over here and visited. We had a good visit. Obviously, we felt like we had a pretty attractive situation in that we knew exactly what we were looking for, and that we didn't have, you know, we don't got 15 guys lined up in that room right now. But we wanted somebody at the end of the day that wanted to come compete here and believed in themselves enough to come compete. And you know, we think this is, you know, a pretty good place to play quarterback. And so yeah, you know, he kind of went through his process, and I think, you know, in the end, I think he just decided, you know, this is really where he wanted to be. And the recruiting process can be tough on guys. You know, emotions, all that can really play a factor, and I think it probably did for him a little bit, especially for transfers, because it happens so quickly. It doesn't get drawn out like a lot of these high school guys. So I think for him, and obviously you get his own words, but it really felt like to me like once the dust settled that he was able to just kind of catch his breath and say, all right, what I really want to do here, I think it was pretty clear.
Lincoln, obviously big time recruiting for you guys. What is your sense on kind of where NIL efforts are at right now? And do you feel like you guys can be pretty competitive as far as, you know, across the nation and the landscape of that sort of thing?
NIL has it's taken some monster leaps since we've been here. It's taken some monster leaps in the last several months, which has been really positive. It's great to see, you know, our fan base and our supporters. I think for everybody, it's just been gaining an understanding of what it is and how it's not important; it's imperative. Like I mean, you have to have it. Last year was okay. It was great outside of kind of the whole collective world. I mean, our guys were able to obviously being in LA, you know, our guys probably get more outside deals than anybody in the country, which is awesome. But we need the support to be right there with it too, from our donors and from our collectives. That has taken some massive jumps here in the last several months, I think, as our people get educated on what this really means. So, but it's got to continue. I mean, like any part of this, you know, you want things to get better. Like you gotta, you know, you have to do something about it. Behaviors have to change. You have to tear down things and build new facilities. Like you have to bring more money in. You have to bring in great coaches. You have to raise more NIL. I mean, like you gotta keep pushing the issue. We're trying to do it here, and we're asking all our people on the outside to continue to do that as well.
Coach, what kind of a statement does your recruiting efforts from Saturday make? And there's just a ton of buzz around USC right now. How significant is it?
Well, it's great. I mean, I think it's validity on, you know, some of the decisions that we've made here, both recently, and then I just think even for, looking big scope, just even in the last couple of years. I mean, to be able to have a weekend like we did last weekend is a big deal. I mean, there's no question about it. And I think, people see it. Like I said, it's, one thing is an idea, but when you come here and you see construction and you actually sit down with these staff members and you see kind of where all these things are headed, like, it's not hard to pick out the trajectory. And I think more and more people across the country, when they get on our campus, are seeing that. And it's a reminder that, like, this place is second to none. Like, what we have to offer kids is different than anywhere else. And and a lot of it is things that money can't buy. And it's a great reminder, no matter what's happened here the last 10 or 15 years, man, like, this thing's still awesome. And it's going to get back to being awesome. And I think more people are, people are seeing that, and I think being reminded of that, and in the areas where we've needed to improve, we've needed to step up, those things are happening. And weekends like that, if we continue to push, will continue to happen.
Coach, have you had to adjust your practice at all? Wide receiver numbers a little bit low. It's great to have Zachariah and Juice out here.
Yeah.
But have you adjusted your practice based on the wide receiver numbers?
A little bit. I don't know. I don't know to the untrained eye that they'd see like some massive difference, but I mean, we've had to adjust the periods and how we do it. We've had to, we've probably in some ways emphasized, the run game and certainly defending the run even a little bit more here, especially the days where we don't have some of those guys when they're doing other sports, which has been good because again, it all winds back to the physicality piece that we've been talking about anyway. So. We've had to adapt a little. The guys have handled it well. We've got some good numbers on kind of both lines of scrimmages and both cores, and so emphasizing that, getting those guys a lot more of the reps has been necessary, but it's also been a positive thing that was probably good for us anyway.
Thank you, Coach Riley.
Thanks everybody.